this is it. We have made it back to FSE LA because, well, very exciting day right now because the McLaren is finally getting that final last piece of preparatory track work, and then we're gonna be all set to finally extract every ounce of performance out of this car. It's been quite the journey getting this car completely prepared for the racetrack. We changed out the carbon brakes to the Jira disc. Also, we got to do the alignment, and that is basically today. Let's go ahead and see this. I want to see how much these actually weigh. So lifting them up. Wow, they're actually pretty light. I'm really surprised about that. And they look so cool. I mean, they're a bit dirty, as you can see when it comes to those vents right there, those veins. But nonetheless, these are drilled, which I hear mixed feedback about. Like, Jira does not recommend drilled rotors, but when it comes to the McLaren, I have not seen any rotors that have been cracked before. Nonetheless, these things are built like a beast. The only issue is, though, again, they wear pretty fast when you drive a 600Lt or a 720S. So the main downfall of going to the iron rotors would be the weight. So, as you know, going from carbons to that, you can be raising the unsprung weight. But at the same time, is it worth the money? So $9,000 for the front pair of rotors, and that's not even counting in the back. Also, the brake pads, those cost a lot of money. So this is gonna make the car much more affordable to run. That means I can run it even more. They look very different than the carbons that I used to have. I think these are my original brake pads in the back, so plenty of life, it seems like. Yeah, major swap going on. Finally, we're getting to the Jira disc, and I am super excited about this. All the McLaren guys I know who are running their 600Ts or 720s, they're using Jira disc. Is the overall installation of the Jira disc pretty straightforward?
Yeah, it's easy to install. Fitment is perfect.
Okay.
So you can see it right here.
Wow, that's so cool. We have the Jira disc Sprint compound pads, ones that we are going with. So in comparison to the Endurance lasts longer, but the reason I went with the Sprint is because William runs these on his 600Lt, and from what Jira disc tells me, these give you 30% more bite, but they will cost you a 30% less of the life compared to the Endurance. And opening this up, let's see how these things look. So as you can see here, the compound itself, everything is in different colors. So look how thick this is right here. It's got like a silverish white tone to it, and I cannot wait to see these on the car. Look at this. I'm super excited about this right here. You can swap right on. It's not very complicated when it comes to the conversion. Everything, they give you all the tools you need to put these iron brakes on your McLaren, and you got to realize going through thousands and thousands of dollars when it comes to the front brake pads and rear brake pads, that's going to add up super quickly. So all of us track day regulars and enthusiasts, these will make everything cost much less. We can enjoy the car for a much longer amount of time. And then here right behind me we have Alan's Ford Mustang GT4. It looks so cool right now. It is it's got all of the racing debris on it because that's a race car behind it, so you gotta run it and have fun with it. So it's so cool actually seeing this car not in a collection, right? Because you would think these cars would be bought up by certain collectors out there, and they would put into a corner next to the other vehicles just sitting there. Anyways, though, the good thing about it is that Alan is actually running it, and I've been seeing him so much at the racetrack. And what's funny is that the back rotors, they look pretty small, to be honest with you. I'm actually very surprised. Look at that. Look how thick those brake pads are. They are way thicker than the ones on our McLaren. That is so funny. This has got kind of like a light blue tone with a steel color to it, and it's not drilled, but it has these veins. And the way these veins are oriented is, as you can see, with the top portion facing left, they're directional, and with these veins, they help push more cool air throughout the rotor to cool it down with centrifugal force. And then those pads right there completely match the rotor. So we're gonna be putting on the official track camber that FSE runs for their 600Lts that they track all the time at like Buttonwillow Raceway. What's especially cool is that the camber spec we're putting on this car is the same spec that they had with their record-setting 600Lt at Buttonwillow Raceway, a 145 lap time. So after driving Williams' car, it showed me how aggressive the settings are, and I love them. So I cannot wait to put them on my car so we can truly experience what it's like on the road and also on other tracks like a Laguna Seca, Willow Springs, etc. You're with Jonathan. How you doing, man?
How you doing?
Good seeing you again. This guy, he is so fast on the racetrack. So basically,
so I remember I did the 146 somethings on the Williams 600.
146 on this one. So am I getting the same track camber as this car right here?
Yes.
Really? So then
this car break the record. It's the 145.5, a negative 3.3 degrees on front and negative 2.7 on the rear. Factory spec is they have to balance the street and track, not only focus on the track. So right now we do a lot of tests, try the car a lot of times on the track, so we find the best alignment for the track.
Yeah, because with OEM, I think it's like 1.8 degrees. So with this, though, it's like double that.
They have to find the balance between the street and track.
You're right. So is the process pretty straightforward to do the camber on this car, or is it pretty long?
It's pretty long.
Yeah. How many McLaren owners really do track their cars? Is it a very small amount, you think, or is it more so than Lambo? A big amount, really?
Yes. You actually compare to Lamborghini and Ferrari, I believe McLaren owner is the biggest amount to track them cars.
Well, I know McLaren is actually a supporter of that. You buy this car, go ahead and track it, right? Yeah. But I hear a few interesting stories here and there when it comes to buying other, high-end brands and manufacturers, not wanting to really track them, right? That's so funny. Yeah. But you can already kind of tell the angle going on towards the rear. This is a pretty slick system you guys have here. Awesome. We got the Jira disc rotors and pads on this car. The Jira disc, I think it's called sprint pads. And then we got the Supercar 3R tires, front and back VR compounds, which are very affordable. Lastly, though, is the actual track camber. So from here on out, it's been perfectly set up for the racetrack. It's very funny going for the carbons because the carbons have this matte black finish almost. It's like a rough texture. It blends in better with the car, I think, but this does look cool because our McLaren name logo on the caliper matches the silver of the rotor, so it blends together very well, I think, for our spec at least. But coming forward, as you can see, look how thick these pads are. So we are going to be so set up for the racetrack, especially with this STEK PPF all over the car. I mean, we are completely protected from rock chips and also debris. So I highly recommend you guys PPF your car for track work because it really does save you, especially because this car has like a $10,000 color paint code that is Papaya Spark. So in general, if you did have some issues here and there with rock chips, it would really hurt you. At least I wouldn't live myself at all. Alright, the car is on the lift right now, and the next steps is to try to put in the camber specs of 3.3 up front and then 2.7 out back, that being negative, right? And then on track, this should really translate to much more even tire wear and also even more grip. You can see the carbon tub way up there. Check that out. All the rocks, right? Going everywhere, man. That's cool.
Such a wide piece.
Is it pretty straightforward to adjust the camber on the 600Lt, or is it pretty complicated?
It's not complicated. It's just like there's a lot of process involved before you can adjust a light. Says if you want more camber, we can remove the upper control arm shim and then we can add some shim to the lower control arm. Then you basically just have to like turn a lot of bolts and nuts. You have to remove, but yeah, you just have to do more than other car like camber bolt or camber plate stuff like that.
Yeah, some cars are very simple, but it is interesting seeing the process for this vehicle. Dude, I'm so excited to feel how this thing drives with this camber. Wow. We are all set, leaving FSC. These guys are awesome. I mean, if you have a McLaren or any supercar, any car in general, and you want to get track prepped or just any work done on it, these are the guys to hit up. I am super excited to finally feel what this car is like with -3 degrees of camber. Let's do this. Let's do this. We have to angulate the car to get out of here, of course. Look at that, a Ford Bronco. It's a brand new one. It's so funny. It's got Michigan license plates on it. What the heck? I think those must be press cars. There's two of them side by side. And then a Jeep right next to them. We're in track mode right now, so it's gonna be extra bumpy. Oh no, not this. A cop is shutting down the freeway. Alrighty, here we go, getting a feel for the car. Made it some cool curvy canyon roads. on the street ever. The speed at which you can carry corners. It's just a whole different dimension. I mean, the level of precision. This car is like an instrument. I mean, it wants you to be precise. It wants to carve the corners. The level of grip is insane. Honestly, insane. Anyways, hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button to help me out. Also, subscribe for much more great videos coming your way. I'll see all of you in the next episode.